Alright everyone, hello and welcome back to another episode on Kerbal Space Program with me, Spacefish, and welcome back to our beautiful little Kerbal Space Center, where in the last episode we finally returned home after our second journey to Minmus now to find ourselves some new tasks at hand. The new tasks being to finally land on Minmus. And that is what we are going to be very much preparing to do this episode. As you may all remember, in the end, last episode, we did a good bunch of research. We've got some cool new toys that we can go through our rockets. And we've got some decisions to make as to how we want to design the rocket, what kind of approaches we want to take, how much more fuel we need, what new parts we're going to grab, and so on and so forth. So, should be quite interesting, I hope. And, well, I hope it's going to be interesting for you all as well. Before we get started, though, if you're new around, if you do happen to enjoy this episode, please make sure to go ahead and smash that subscribe button right down below. Would appreciate that a ton. We're on the journey to 1,000 subs as a channel currently, and every single person does do a ton for that. That said, before we go... Oh my god, this is new, isn't it? I'm not sure this was always possible. Before we go and do anything, we are going to go and recover this stuff here. Get some money back and, you know, make sure it's not rolling around on a launch pad anymore. And then... let us go for the time being again to the VAB. I think we had some science remaining, which we were contemplating how we wanted to use that. Maybe like some research modules or something, but we'll check that out once we get there. I would say for the time being, what I would actually like to look at before we do anything here really, is I think... where's Minmus Go Boom? That was it, right? Minmus Go Boom 1.1. I am rather sure... do we actually go with this one the last time around? Why do I have the strong feeling that we didn't and this was not grey and orange on our actual rocket? Maybe I'm not recalling the optics of the rocket, but I do have the feeling we may have accidentally launched the wrong rocket last time around. Did we launch the other one? I need to look back at that episode. Give me a second, guys. This is like, this is actually like, I'm super, I don't know. I'll be right back. Alright, I'm back. Turns out I was tripping. We were actually launching the proper one, so that's good news. So, I mean, we pretty much did a full orbit last time around, 5,500 meters a second. I think we had like 1,000 a bit more left, so it wasn't terrible, but it's probably not quite enough to be landing at Minmus. Looking at the rocket design, though, I mean... okay, so I mean, generally speaking, it does make sense. The question is, how do we want to do it for the new one? Like, we do technically have something like this, right? Our Lunar Excursion module here. But this thing, well, it wouldn't be evidently able to get our Kerbal back home. And I don't know, I think we may have unlocked some docking parts last time around. Where was that at? I've got no clue. This was for grabbing onto... oh no, it's a firework launcher. Never mind, I thought it was the thing for grabbing onto asteroids. I'm not too sure we have any docking stuff. So if we would want to use this thing, we would have to spend more science to use it, which is kind of... and I just had a look at the cargo bit here. We do have some more science equipment, it seems. Right, so I would say that generally speaking, the likelihood of us using this thing is probably rather low, is it? So, well, probably not. Like, I'm definitely going to be using it for the future, don't get me wrong, because I think it's super nice, you know, very, very nice way of very easily landing somewhere and taking back off. That said, I mean, it does seem like very little monopropellant, to be honest, to be landing on the moon with. I want to see just how strong it is and how quickly it uses up the monopropellant. So, we'll do a little test. I think it's probably not strong enough for a Kerbal atmosphere. If it is, you know, I'll probably have to make sure that we don't explode. Because this thing's probably not going to be too easy to land. Let me just move some stuff out of the way of my keyboard to make sure. But even if not, you know, I kind of just want to see how long the monopropellant lasts, because I can't imagine that 30 units will last more than like a few seconds. So firstly, it is not strong enough for Kerbal atmosphere. I mean, that's not too bad, to be honest. I would still be a bit paranoid about this not doing much. But I mean, that's... I guess for Minmus it would definitely work. For the moon? Yeah, kind of debatable. But it's a possibility, I guess. Let's have a quick look-see. Hello. Wow. They don't really have a lot of viewports to work with to get this thing on the ground. Jesus Christ. But yeah, so, I mean, technically speaking, you know, I guess it would be possible. You could probably also slap some more RCS tanks on there. You would need some sort of landing legs or something anyway, so... little under carriage thingy, whatever. So, interesting one. We may use it in the future. I would say, though, that, for the time being... well, we don't count as landed, apparently, so I guess I'm just reverting... Oh, no, wrong menu. Anyways, but yeah, so for the time being, we're not going to use it because we don't have the docking ports, and I don't want to spend the science points on it. So, my strong feeling is I kind of want to get the command pod going, because we do have some more science instruments and stuff, which I would really like to have a look at. Not these, but like the on-the-ground ones. And, you know, it's interesting that we have a separate EVA jetpack. Because, I mean, they technically already have one on. I don't know. But yeah, so, we need to... I need to probably inform myself about how these work and if I have everything required or if I do need to use science to research some more of it. But that would be quite cool. And then we can have 3 Kerbal in there. So, you know, we can have our scientist with us. We can also have our engineer with us. He can start gathering some knowledge. And I'm not sure if I maybe need him to set up some of these things. Deploy power generation units. Yeah, I've got the strong feeling that we actually need him to, like, deploy the power generation bit for our experiments. So, like, this thing, right? Photovoltaic panel. Needs to deploy. Bring a trained engineer or this, yeah. Or this part will only produce enough power for one other unit. Ah, so I guess it produces power for... Aha, look at that. Engineer level 1 we can... Okay, look at that. So, 1 unit we can power it with an unsuited Kerbal. Engineer level 1 can do 2. Engineer level 2 can do 3, and so on and so forth, up until 4 at once. This is a cargo part that can be placed inside inventories. Power units required. 1 requires an atmosphere. No. Okay, what does this thing do? Control unit range. Antenna. So I guess this thing we need to actually transmit things. So we would need 1 power unit for this and 1 power unit for that, and then we can actually plonk that down on the moon surface, and it would... I don't know how that works. If it just kind of makes science keep flowing in. I'll make sure to get myself informed about that as we go. But first things first, we need to kind of design this rocket anyways, right? So we'll get going with that. Intrigued about this bit, to be honest, but we won't take that into account just now. My one question would be, how do we get the experiments back to... I was going to say Earth, but to Kerbin safely? Maybe we would be using a service bay, because I do suppose we need to store some other things in there too, right? Like these. Can be placed inside inventories. Cannot be placed in storage container, but can be manipulated in EVA construction inventory slots 3. So... Huh. Not quite sure about this. How does that work? How do I store away everything that I want to store away? Cargo. Do I need like a proper cargo compartment? Because I mean, I guess I could hide this thing away in here, but that's kind of not the most efficient bit of space usage, right? And then we would have like an experiment storage unit, which we also want to have, but that thing already glitches into the next bit, so does not seem like the right way to go to me. So we'll maybe place something in the middle there in the future. We'll just get the basics ready for now. Now, what we definitely need is going to be heat shield. Let's get going with that before we forget it, because we always do. You guys know at this point, I suppose. So, let's make sure we have that on, shall we? That's a bit of a big one. 2.5 meters. Apparently, that's what we want. Now, question mark being, we have got our... Oh, right, we've got a large ASAS that we can plonk on. I'll probably place that below the heat shield, but I guess we don't really need it when we're re-entering atmosphere. Well, unless we actually increase the compartment size here, because we technically do want to bring those experiments with us, so having the ASAS on there would probably be quite helpful, in fact. Also, probably quite an expensive part, so it's nice if we can recover it and get some money back. Yeah, 2100, it's insanely, but still. Why not just recover it, I suppose. Then, what we definitely would have going on, or would have to have going on, would be some battery sort of stuff, and... I mean, this thing's going to be too small. We don't have any bigger batteries, so we'll just slap some on the outside here, I would argue. And just kind of, like, you know, do this, and do that, and... I'm not sure, to be honest, how much we want, but I feel like this may be sufficient. Where can I see the summary? I mean, honestly, no, I think it is good. It's fine. We kind of want probably more like the solar panels, in fact, than these now. Because, well, you know, gotta make sure to generate enough power. Not obstruct the viewing ports all too much, probably, but otherwise, you know, just plunking some solar panels here on the outside to make sure that we're definitely generating enough power, I would say. That is quite sufficient. Then, another important bit, I would argue, is actually parachute. Probably want to make sure that we're safe and sound when we come back home. My one question mark still is, we do probably need to get some sort of like service bay, cargo compartment, whatever going below the rocket in order to bring the experiments with us. Just due to the fact that, like, if we put this thing on top like we did with the other rocket, like, the parachute is going to be quite big wherever it is. Utility, I guess. Right, so this is kind of, honestly, I mean, that's weird. Having a quick look here. Storage container. Wait a second. Can I use that? I mean, it looks kind of a bit weird, but can I use it? Okay. Okay, so I guess we'll just use this. Benefit being that we actually have a ladder down here for the Kerbal node, so we don't need one. So, really liking that. Yeah, so I guess that is going to be then how the main stage works, and then we can actually have the storage unit in here. The issue being with that, though, we can't store experiment data in there. I need to figure something out for our experiment storage. Maybe we'll just do it with the service bay compartment or something. But in any case, right, this is a drogue parachute, right? Not enough to stop you smashing it to the ground and so. That is more intended, I guess, for something like Juno or something, right? Where the atmosphere is quite thin, you want to make it slow down enough before you deploy the actual parachute. Not have it rip off, basically. So we'll have the XL parachute, but given that we've got the storage container, given that we're probably expanding it even a little bit more, I do have to say I'm a tad bit worried about the actual final weight of our thingamajig. Our rocket, well, our pod, you know what I mean, right? So kind of am contemplating slapping on some more. On the other hand side, to be quite fair, I'm not too sure. Homes. Dry mass packed volume, semi-deployment, effective altimeter, max safe deploy speed at home, 264 meters a second. Full deployment. Now with only 50% of the structural integrity. Nice. I'm not sure about this one. Could also do a drogue shoot. The thing is, where in the world would you want to put this kind of stuff? We need to put it on opposite ends to not topple the rocket over. But here I would be putting it over the hatch, in fact. I guess we're going to slap it down right there. And just obstruct the viewport a bit. Okay, that's the plan. Cool. So that is, I guess, the upper part of the main stage. We're already going to name this thing. And we're going to call it Minmus Go Wee. Very creative name, innit? From Minmus Go Boom to Minmus Go Wee. Loving it. Right, so moving on. That is, for the time being, the main stage. We do need to think about that experiment storage bit. Hopefully not forget about it. Kind of worried that I'm going to forget about it now. Not going to lie. But, we'll see. We'll see. For now, I think we'll just say we're coming back to that. So, what we do want is a stack separator. A rather big one. I guess this. Yep. And then we can start working away at some actual rocketry, I suppose. Also, well, I mean, we do want some standard science instruments, right? So, I need a service bay. I kind of do. I'm very happy I put the drag parachute on there, because honestly, this thing's going to be quite big. And that's also probably going to mandate that we do take even more fuel with us. But at the same time, you know, we've got the bigger pod, we've got the bigger rocket, so... yeah, it's fine. It's fine. It is all fine. Let's go ahead and just get a service bay, I think. Probably the 2.5 meter one. Wait, oh, that's the diameter. I think not. Yeah, so of course the 2.5 meter one. We would have a bigger one, but that doesn't really fit the rocket. And then the thing is, well, what I'm actually interested in, I mean, first and foremost, I would like some experiment storage. Was there a way? There was a way to just turn off the snap, right? So if I turn off snap and I go to science, can I just put this thing wherever? No. See, it's red there. Well, it would be if we turned it on its side, which, I mean, I guess isn't all too terrible bad. I can kind of just put it on the side, can we? I mean, like, we can put a science junior here in the middle, so that kind of fits in, right? So we need to put that somewhere, and then we've got the experiment storage right there, I guess. And then the science junior can just be operated from this side. I would even go as far. It's just putting the doors there. Does that work for you guys? I think that's fine, right? And what we can maybe do as well is we can just go ahead and just put our other experiment units in here too. What was... ah, right. Kind of got lost there with the buttons. So, you know, little mystery goo container right there. Barometer right there. Thermometer. No, no. Fixed it. Thermometer goes there. Do we have everything now? Well, at least all these bits, right? Then we can just close it up, and there we go. Cool. So, that is literally just the main stage. No propulsion, no nothing. Just what we want to bring back home to Kerbin. Bit worried about the size of that, but we'll see how it goes, I guess. We'll find out. So, that is that. Now, trying to think. We could technically already load some of these things in here. So we will, for now, load some of these things in here. What level is our engineer? He's level... it's level 1, right? Still. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Let me double check here. Yeah, so 5 is the amount. Okay. So he's level 1, so he counts as getting the stuff going for it. Well, I mean, currently it would be enough. If we were to unlock some more science modules, based on what I find out on my research, I guess, we would probably want some more. I will go and bring an EVA repair kit, because why not? May come in handy. And we will do some experiments kits as well, which is in fact I find quite interesting because... oh, wait. I guess we can maybe do like an experiment in space with these and an experiment in like Kerbal atmosphere and like, you know, so like maybe we can stack these. I'm not sure, but I am definitely willing to try. So we'll do multiple of these because they're like dirt cheap anyways. and maybe we get some additional science out from that, because we haven't done that before. We'll see. We'll find out. And, well, work lamp and all would be quite cool, but we can't power any more devices. Well, in fact, doesn't seem we need that. I mean, that's quite cool, right? So, like, in case it gets dark while we're out setting up the devices, we can have a few work lamps that just kind of light the way. I love it. We need those. Other than that, I mean, feels fine. I think we got all the majority of bits there, and now the majority of the stage is somewhat set up, right? Are we still missing anything? I'm sure we will find out that we are, but... well, for the time being, let's go ahead and actually go and get to work on some fuel tanks. So, that's a big one. I would say that is our space stage, right? And the question is, what do we want for space? ISP. 310 in vacuum, 345. Yeah, but that thing is tiny. Yeah, not an option. 240, no, what? 310, rather. 320 in vacuum. This is a swivel, so this thing has thrust vector, but these are also, yeah, it's a small variant, so not really an option. 320 in vacuum is the skipper. 350 in vacuum for the poodle. Add a thrust of 250 kilonewtons, which is not all too terrible, I would argue. Well, it's not like great, but how much does this one has? It's still more than the small engines at the very least. It's not like we need to go super fast once we're in space. We kind of just want more of the fuel efficiency, right? Okay, let's do the poodle on our space stage, right? And then we'll kind of move on to stack separator and then getting the rest of the thing going. So it's gonna have to be quite big, unless do we have any wider fuel tanks than what we're currently working with? I am in fact not quite sure, I have to admit. I just color change it, like, oh my god, I didn't know that was possible. It's cool, I love it. Smaller, even smaller. RCS. We forgot about RCS. See, that would be an important bit to slap on there, I would argue. Now, could go for an internal tank, to be honest. Oh, wait. I need to change my thought process here. We're not looking to make another rocket that goes to land. We're looking to make another rocket. No, not. We're not looking to make another rocket that goes to orbit. We're looking to make another rocket that is supposed to land. That is the point here. So we need to rethink this. In fact, what we want here is going to be first and foremost radial decouplers like these. That snap, and we probably want 4 of them. Pretty much as low as possible without them just accidentally being decoupled, which... Huh. Well, I mean, I guess that is here. Makes me think if this thing is... Well, technically speaking, what we could do... I've got an idea, generally speaking. Yeah, so we will not be using a big RCS tank, but multiple small ones. What we will be doing here is we'll be having... Is that big enough? I think that may be a little excessively large, right? We'll be slapping something like this on. I kind of like the orange. I really do. I mean, this is boring. We'll do it with the orange for now. But, you know, the idea being then that, of course, like, we still do have, like, a bit of a space engine, so to say, right? This is our main stage, basically. And then we can kind of just slap these on wherever we want, because they come after this thing in the stage anyways. Or before this thing, rather. That's what I mean. So we decouple this first, and then this is the last bit that remains in the end. So we have this, we've got 490 meters a second in that, and then we kind of just build the lander out from here, right? So we would be going and just grabbing some fuel tanks, and maybe we would make the outer tanks a little smaller, I'm thinking. I mean, we're looking to land on Minmus, not like Duna or something, so... Ooh, well, that worked well. You know, something like that. Maybe expanding things by a little bit. Oh, I'll have to move this stuff, because this will mean, like, the way that I've currently assembled it will mean that my Autonauts cannot get off the rocket. Let me look at... Right, so we'll put it there, basically. Double checking that the staging is still fine. And then, you know, we can still extend the ladders down here, which, where is that? Where are the ladders? Didn't we have some extendable ladder? Did I not research some extendable ladder? Is that literally all we've got right now? I thought we had researched an extendable ladder. Did we miss something here? Did I miss something here? Can't blame you guys for it, right? Oh, so this we would definitely do, right? External fuel ducts into the inside, making sure that this thing stays full, and these, you know, run out first. Makes sense. We can shed some weight, basically, right? I thought we had better ladders than that. You know, the nice fancy fold-out ones. Are they in a different category, maybe? Doesn't look like it. Well, that's a bit annoying, I guess, but hey. We've got these, so we'll just kind of turn off symmetry. I know there was a way to copy-paste stuff that you've already placed, but I do not for the life of me remember what said way was, so, well. Oh, really? Due to there being a stack separator, we cannot... Nice. Oh, that's great. I hope that that still works for the Autonauts. Probably it won't, and they will fall off. Worst case, they have a jetpack still. Well, I can't bring it any lower than that, so good luck getting up there. Anyways, I am going to redo the fuel connections here. Forgot the symmetry. Just, you know, to make sure they're not glitching through that. And then, you know, what we're going to do here is we're going to go to fuel tanks. Going to put some RCS fuel tanks on top of here, basically. And we will go and put some nose cones on. Get it nice and aerodynamic. And also we will quickly make sure to go ahead and put some nice... It's different here. Variant of the loop. What is the difference between the variable and the standard one? 240 in vacuum, 240 in vacuum. Angled 4-horn, octagonal 5-horn. Wait, you've got variants of these? Oh my god, look at that! I had no idea. I've got no clue what the difference between variable and not variable is, but we're just going to choose the normal thing. I don't know. And we'll place 4 of them here. 4 of them there. That way, you know, we'll have the lander nicely under control, hopefully, when we go and get down to landing. So, I would say, with that said, and the lander more or less complete, hopefully, let us save it right there. And we will come back in the next episode. We'll get some engines going for the lander. We will go ahead and expand the thing downwards, because we do still need a stage for space. And, well, not for space, but for getting ourselves up into space. And that one does need a lot of Delta V, because it's also going to be the stage that's meant to be to get us over to Minmus, probably. So, we'll see about that. There's a lot of construction work left to do. We'll continue in the next episode. And then hopefully, in due time, we'll finally go on our merry way to Minmus in order to land for the first time ever plant our flag down, explore things, get some science done, get some cool scientific instruments set up, and even some lights and stuff, so quite fancy that, and hopefully it'll be a ton of fun. For today though, this has been it. I hope you all very much enjoyed the episode. Of course, if you did, please make sure to go ahead and smash that like button right down below for the YouTube algorithm, and if you're new around here and haven't done so just yet, also please consider subscribing right down below, as well as hitting that bell icon in order to stay up to date on all the future upcoming episodes. With all those things out of the way though, as usual everybody, thank you so much for watching, and I hope I will catch you in the next episode very, very soon. Ciao.